won $112,000 today.
Don't want to die. Death is a constant reminder here.
There were people we kill we advance.
You ain't supposed to be alive.
Stealing, shooting people, doing whatever I had to do.
We had to make a living.
I want him dead. I want his family dead.
I know how to grind. I started from the bottom.
Never rat on your friends.
Race to rackets.
It's rough on a black man.
Hold up, we're gonna blow this whole...
1995, on a hot summer day in East Baltimore, 3 young drug dealers stood on the corner during a shift. One of them walks into the corner store. With 2 minutes passing by, loud bangs gets his attention. Returning, he discovered that the 2 men stretched out on the pavement. Hold up, y'all, it's lit, man. Get these likes up, like this video. If you're new, this is members only, and we're not reading no FBI transcripts over here. We're covering everything from the hood's perspective. Nobody talking that shit like me, but I want to just say thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all my subscribers and the feedback y'all give me. So we're heading into Baltimore tonight. Be-more. See, Be-more reminds me of Philly. How the row homes look, the cop cars, and them guys on them bikes out there. We all love The Wire, and it got us familiar with the Baltimore culture. Anthony A.J. Jones had East Baltimore on lock. See, he did it at a young age. He was the man at 18. He was a quiet and laid-back type of guy. He reminds me of Marlowe from The Wire. He had so much money, and an old associate once said he was the Bank of Maryland and First National Bank combined. Now, and if you ask Elway Williams, he would say he was the man. Now, compared to AJ, he was arrogant. He was like a little Stringer Bell. You couldn't tell him anything. Williams was making his money. He was getting $15K a day off of dog food. That's over $100K a week, if you do the math. He would move like a Don, having guys open up his doors on his 735 Beamer. But he was like that neighbor peeking over to the next man's yard. Williams will become AJ's downfall, and I'll tell you in a minute. Williams didn't think AJ would go to war with him and played him sweet. The loudest in the room is always the weakness. The quiet ones you have to watch out for. Now, AJ might have been smart, but you have to get into some dumb shit to protect your reputation. Both men were out East Baltimore and saw it as they were cutting into each other's profits, so somebody had to go, and it could only be one king. One morning, Anthony held court in the middle of the trenches, telling his soldiers to move in on every corner Williams had. He had the manpower for it. Williams had the manpower for war also, but he was too cocky to take it as serious as Anthony. See, beef is nothing to a boss when you can order a hit, then eat a sandwich like it's nothing. Anthony had information on one of Williams' partners, so he would set it off by hitting the closest thing to him. With doing that, he would send a message. He would show him that he had him. He had his number. Now, time after, Anthony would be shot walking out of a building and would manage to escape jumping into a car driven by his men. He would get hit in his arm and he would head to the hospital. It was a hit ordered by Williams, and he would show Anthony that it's chess, not checkers. While Anthony was shot, he backed his men off for a couple of months while he recovered and rethink strategy, because he almost was killed. One lucky shot and it would have been all over. During that time, Williams started to show his face more, moving like he won the war. He would party like the war was over, but that's what Anthony wanted him to think. The plan was to let him get comfortable and hit him where it hurts. Jones saw a perfect opportunity when he had one of his men approach some young workers that was under Williams. These guys were in their teens, and all he had to do was offer them more money than they ever saw, and it would work. February of '96, Williams and his bodyguards would be in separate cars when the 3 young men opened fire, one hitting the bodyguard in his head, killing him right on the spot. Williams was hit 3 times but managed to keep running and get away. He would knock on a stranger's door and would get help, and he would survive. He would spend almost 4 weeks recovering in a medical center. Now, there's a problem. The men wanted to get paid, so the job is not finished. First of all, I wouldn't have done anything without receiving half the money up front. But these guys were young, and they didn't even know how the game go. But they wasn't even getting any money anyway. He was going to clip them after, because if they turn on Williams, what you think they'd do to him? During that time, you couldn't trust anyone. Everyone had a price. Your own cousin would give up information for a price. But each man would go tit for tat, blow for blow, dropping each other men. Broad day shootings. they would turn East Baltimore upside down. One day, MAC-10s would spray a group of corner boys that's a part of the Jones faction. On another day, a group of masked men runs into a stash house with sawed-off shotguns ran by Williams. Now, how did they get the drop? That's a good question. Jones had a 30 cop on payroll and offered him $5,000 to give up some information on what medical center Williams was stationed. He was super desperate. He offered a different cop $10,000 to arrest Williams and feed him to the crew. The cops were smart enough not to take the money. Anthony Jones would eventually be convicted for racketeering, murder, attempted murder, retaliation against a federal witness, and drug distribution. Now, they would throw the life sentence at him, and Williams would cooperate with the feds to bring Jones down. He told everything. So his mindset was to take him down by any means. Williams couldn't live behind bars knowing Anthony is still in the streets making money. Being behind bars would crown Jones king. Both men lost, but only one went out the right way, leaving East Baltimore open for a new king. Now, during that time, Baltimore will go into a crazy drought, and everything was up for grabs. But that's it for now, man. Shout out to everybody in B-More. Shout out to all my subscribers. Hit that like button. We're gonna keep the ball rolling every week, man. I appreciate y'all, and stay tuned for more. I'm out.